Hello, wonderful people. Welcome again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be watching us from. This is Jesse, and I'm at Moor Sports Studios, and it's our third anniversary. Um, we've been celebrating for the last 3 days, and we this is a celebratory post broadcast, and it is to thank you our supporters because when we started, we only had just ourselves, the crew. Um, the guys behind most spots were just like we're under 15, so more than some people are busy. They take some leave and come back. So all the moving parts, in Nigeria, in the UK, some of our friends in Cote d'Ivoire, some of our friends in Uganda. Yeah, it's what we do, and we're all working professionals, and we help ourselves. The reason why we started More Sports, it's simple. First and foremost, I would like to thank you once again because on Facebook we are 58,000 people supporting us, and that deserves a drum roll. Okay. Uh, we're 58,000. I'm going to take you through the back end so you can see what exactly is going on at More Sports. And we are on all different, platforms. And I'll take you through those platforms as well. So we want to thank you, especially. Um, I can see that there's someone in my DM. It's Kenny. It says, I'm with you, Jazzy Bay. Of course, you are. The person who is sending me this message happens to be my CEO. Is the CEO of Moor Sportz, Kenny Faguero. Um, and I'm happy to have him as my boss. So he's been a fantastic human that's going to different lengths to coordinate everyone and everybody, to make more sports, a reality. I've got many colleagues, that you must have seen. Um, I'll show you some of them. Yeah, I'll show you some of them. And that is where we are. So first and foremost, let me take you through what more sports is and who more sports is. More actually means black. And the reason why we got into broadcasting ourselves or into setting up a sports platform is the fact that the black people are underrepresented in sports reportage. So if you imagine all your sports news comes from the top five, agencies in the world. If you take BBC Sports, TNT Sports, and some of these, large Sky Sports, large satellite TVs, they're the ones who dominate every aspect, of sports. And when they report black issues, they don't do so from the point of empathy and from the point of history or representation. And that is why we are in more sports to say that African sports, black sports all over the world is different. And we have to report it from the point of view of those who are playing that sport. So if you can imagine, black excellence or achievement in sports is often deliberately under mentioned and underrepresented. Even when they do mention it and represent it properly, they don't give it the right sort of decibel of accolades that they need to give it. So that's why we are more sports. So that's number one. Number two is that we are concerned about black participation in sports. So if you look at our content, I think we're the only of these, non-traditional sports platforms from that represent Black Africa, that we are into all types of sports. So whether it be basketball, we're reporting. Whether it be football, we're reporting. Whether it be skating, we're reporting. As long as it is sporting endeavor, we want to be there. We want to be able to make commentary on Black sports, as everything as it affects, Black people playing that particular sports, whether it's golf as well. So, and we've been everywhere. You must have seen some of our reports, especially in golf. We don't cover, we often cover some of the main headline sporting stories, but you must have seen that we were on ground twice in America to showcase the Nigerian American Golf Association, Africans playing that sports as a tool to unite their community and to spread, the gospel of golf. Sorry. All right. So that's another reason. So the other reason why we're doing this is that we want to connect with of our stars. In life, people always love what is trending, but we do know that life is beyond what is trending. Life is on a continuum, and some of our stars of bygone eras, we don't want to forget them. So if you go on Moor Sportz, you must have read fantastic stories about past African Black, sports guys that people have forgotten about. And it's our joy to be able to bring you the stories and the exploits of these guys. And some of them, one of the fantastic things is that we also learn from all of this when we're preparing our content and when we're doing our research, and then when we're bouncing around ideas in the team, we learn as well, just as you learn. And it's a good thing that when you've done the stories and some of these great stars, they do find their way to our platform. They do find their way to our platform, and they do comment. And one of these story that gladdens my heart, if you go to our Facebook page, I'll show you later. It's in one of the um, tickers that we put in there, and is a John Akibua story. And I grew up learning about the legend of John Akibua of Uganda, and we ran a story on John Akibua, and somebody came into our inbox, and it turned out to be the son of John Akibua. What do you can't script that. That's what you live for as a journalist, as someone who is presenting news and stories, or writing stories. And it's not only that. We did another story I'll show you on Mary Onyali, and she was such a fantastic part of our lives growing up. um, she dominated, the sprints event, put Nigeria's name on the map, put Africa's name on the map. It was the domination of the Americans and the Caribbeans, especially Jamaicans. The days of Marlene Ote. And she came in between them and put our name, Africa's name, Nigeria's name, in the spotlight. And we ran a story, and in all honesty, we made some mistake. We mixed it up. We mixed two events up. And she came and said, "Oh, this story is not quite what it should be." And I didn't know at first it was her, and I gained her up. If you point out what the issue is, well, oh, but before that, somebody in the team pointed it out to me and all of that, and we quickly, make the corrections. And so that's another reason. Some of the things we love, this is doing a review of our third year, And the fourth one that I'm going to say is that you, our fans, we do love you a lot. We don't take what we're doing, lightly. We know that you guys are really, really intelligent, people. And the funny thing is that some of the times that we have run some stories, you guys have quickly come back and said, "No, I don't think it's this year." I don't think it's this date. And some of the things that we missed totally, you kind of like straighten us out and say, look, this is the way it's supposed to be. And for that, we just want to thank you because seriously, at Moor Sportz, we do not think of ourselves as know it all. We don't know everything, and we rely on you guys to keep engaging with us. You know, to get this to get this to where it should be. So we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much because without you doing all of these things that I've mentioned, there would not be more sports. So let's do a clap roll for us. I think we deserve it. So now let's share some of the screen and then go through certain things. Okay, a round of applause for you guys. I will quickly get to. Oh, okay. So you are welcome. Let us go to our page. Um, let's share our page and then let's go to more spots. I want to show you a few things on the more spots, page. Um, I hope you're seeing my page. Yeah. Okay. Uh, right now, if you can see, I'm taking you behind the scenes, to see some of interesting things that we see, from here. So as you can see, we are 58,000 members, and we are also following quite a lot of our sport, friends pages. We're not an island; we're connected to everyone. And as I'm sharing this page, if you love what we're doing and you have interacted with us, we have this recommendation. You can go on there and give us recommendation, please. We've got 6 reviews. Send us your reviews, and then that will allow Facebook, to get across, to more people. So I'm going to show you our insights. Let's go into the insights page. So as you can see, in the last 28 days, uh, we've reached out to almost 5 million people. So almost 5 million views, on our page. And, the viewers who did all of that, 1.3, almost 1.4 million people. You can see that here. 1.4 million people have been, doing that viewing. And some of the videos that we spent, we've got 18,467 3-second views. We've got 293 1-minute views. And the interesting thing is that these are content type, the followers and non-followers viewers. And um, that is where we are. So I'll quickly show you what the audience is like. We've got 58,342 people following us, and net follows in the last 1 month is 1,549 people, and some people who don't like some of the stuff we put out, 204. So imagine that we're getting 1,549 in a month on the average, and then we get 204 people who say, "Oh, maybe they post too much, or maybe I don't like black spots, or for whatever reason." It's a free world and it's a free environment, but we want to be honest and open, with you, what we do, so we know what you like, because a lot of these posts that we make, 97% of you like it, and the reels, that we make, that is the videos, you know, the videos that we make. uh, is getting, you guys are getting to like it, and this is the area that you might really love, to see. So, women that are following us, the ages that are following us most is ages 25 to 34 years. So it's representative of the youthfulness of Africa. The ladies are just a quarter or less, they're 38.5%, of the guys who watch us. So the rest are men, So from age 34 to 44, it gets even less. More men are watching us. So it's 23.1%. And age 18 to 24, 18.5%. We've got some older people who love more sports, 45 to 54 years old, 10.8%. And then 65 plus, 4.9%. So, 55 to 64, 4.2%. So you can imagine that we're loved by people from all people of all ages, at Moor Sportz. And because we're a pan African and globalist black apologetics of, sports in the sporting arena, we have the bulk of our people who interact with us coming from Lagos, Nigeria. I mean, the towns and city in the lifetime, the last 3 years, the bulk of these people are in Lagos, Nigeria, which is 25.3%. Uh, this one kind of like blows my mind, even as the statistic blows my mind. One of the cities in which most sports is really, really popular is Antananarivo in Madagascar. Who would have thought? I never would have thought in 1,000 years that in Madagascar, most sports will be really, really popular there. And the funny thing is that we ran some stories when we saw this. We ran some stories uh, about Antananarivo or Madagascar sports stars. It's a small country; they're not really sports focused. Um, and one of the things is that if I saw Ghana, if I saw Accra, if I saw uh, um, or at Morocco, Algeria, whatever it is, I will take it because I know that there's internet density. There's the internet is cheaper to get and is widely available. But in Madagascar, it's not cheap, and you don't even find internet connection in the remote areas, of Madagascar. And for them to do this, lots of love from us, from Moor Sportz as well. We love you. We love you guys. And the third one is Accra, Ghana. Etienne, you know, Ghana is one of the cities Accra is one of the cities I love in Ghana. Um, I've been there on many occasions, and it's always a fantastic, place to be. The energy is fantastic, So, um, 10.1% of you guys, you're really supporting us, and we love you. Thank you so much. And also, Freetown in Sierra Leone. That is one city I hope to visit, one of these days. And 9.6% in the lifetime of our interactors, they've come from Freetown in Sierra Leone. So this is by towns and cities. Anyway, the cluster of those who support us most. And then the other one is Conakry in Guinea. Who would have thought Conakry, Guinea? Thank you for supporting us. We love that. We have Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh, I wished, my French is that, good, but ça va bien, merci. Bien, merci, or merci. Yeah, you guys have been fantastic to us, fantastic to us. Of course, I was one of those guys who listened to Kofi Olomide to no end, and Makosa took over Nigeria in the early 2000s. I think from 2000 to 2005, Makosa was everything in Lagos, in most of Nigeria. It was like a fire blowing through the prairie, and I caught that fever as well. So one love from your brothers, here. So those are the top countries. So we got one, two, three, four, five, six. They're the top six countries that have been following us on More Sports. So thank you, kudos to you guys. Now by country is a different ball game, and again something has thrown me off in these statistics. Um, the lead country that have been supporting us and following us is Nigeria. That's number one country. Then surprisingly, number two country that have been following us is Algeria. Man, salute. Salute to my Algerians. Salute to you guys. Um, the country of Rabamacha is supporting us. Oh my God, this is good. And 22%. You know, the next one, the third one is India. I have been monitoring this, stats, and honestly, till date, unless of course Facebook gives us access to their algorithms, I wouldn't, dream that the number three country that's been following us will be people from India. I want to know if it's Indians. What type of Indians? Are they Africans in India or Black people living in India? You know, it might be a mix of all of this, but I do not know. And really, I would love to know. So that is cool. It's really cool, cool, cool. I really would like to know. But thank you, India. Namaste. Thank you, India. Namaste. You guys are fantastic. Keep supporting us. We love it. We love to spread all these stories. We work really hard. We go to work, we come back, then we start our research, and then the team comes together. And sometimes in a day, we float up to 20 stories, sometimes 30 stories, all of us working together. And Madagascar, again, kudos to you guys. I don't know how to say thank you in Madagascar. I think I listened to that on um on YouTube, but I've forgotten now. But thank you, Madagascar. Thank you, thank you. Ghana, Etienne, Charlie, you're really doing well. You are doing well, Charlie. Thank you, thank you. And Democratic Republic of Congo, merci, merci. Thank you so much. So that is that gives you an idea of who and what has been following us. So I would quickly like to share to you some of the stories that I think has been intriguing, you know, in the last 1 month. We've got certain stories from the past, but let's deal with the stories that we've got now. So we've got, you know, this story. We ran this story um, of um, this lady, Sawyer Bonnerly. She Our patent was this powerful um, flip, mid-flight, when she's doing um, the sports that she does, skating, right? And she was penalized for it because she was black, she was muscular, she's not the archetype of the sportsman that they actually, expected. But she defied all the odds, and she played by her own rules, because when she knew that she was not going to be accepted, or she was going to be unjustly, criticized, or not, taken seriously. And we ran this story. This story took a life of its own. And as you can see, It garnered 3,500 likes, 265 comments, and 595 shares, almost 600 shares. That is a whole lot of things. So it generated quite a lot of comment. Um, some people felt, as usual, white people felt, okay, she's not special. Black people felt she's special, and some white people felt she's special. Whatever it is, we have been able to represent her. We have been able to represent the glory of her performance, what she brought to the table. We've been able to do that and do it in a very good way that the people actually um, supported and they really, liked. And that for me is one of the reasons why we do this. So if we were taking the traditional sports that black people would do, you wouldn't say is a figure skater or figure skating. But to see that people are actually super interested in skating because a black person was doing it, for me that is powerful. It's a powerful image as something that we love, to research and to present to you guys. So that will be one story that um, captured me myself, because you do have to do reflections on what you do, every time. That story really, taught me a thing or two. And this story, like I said, I just have to share it. Uh, we ran this story about the bronze that felt like gold. Nigeria's defining really moment at Barcelona 1992. 1992 was the year that I graduated. Yeah, I think so. That was the year that I graduated high school. And it was one of the defining races that, shaped my entire view of African participation in world sports. I remember it was with my dad, now of blessed memory, in our living room, and we were watching this on a second hand colored TV. I think the TV was, it was this Grundig, yeah, it's a German TV called Grundig, and we it was everyone at TV, but for us, having a color TV is one of the things that you enjoyed. It was one of the icing on the cake, because up until that time, up until the 1990s, we were using black and white TV, right? And this race, when the expression that it got you on the edge of your seat, that this was a race for me. And these ladies, Mary Onyali, Faith Idahe, Christia Pratt Thompson, and Beatrice Utondo. Honestly, that is my one of the occasions, apart from Atlanta 96, I think so. And I think 1985, when the baby eagles, as they were called then, under 17 Nigerian under 17 team won the World Cup, the JVC World Cup for the first time. I think the emotions that I felt at that time, this bronze was equal to that emotion. I felt that emotion. And, we ran the story. It was one of this image, that you see on my screen now. That image has gone global in the world. That is the image. This image, nobody is going to ever forget. If you're African, if you're Nigerian, is iconic. That is what they call an iconic image. And You know, that is Marion Yali in a what do they call it now? The hairstyle. I think it was representative of what we knew at that time. And she, I think she came through from that Amu word of in access, because I could remember one of my friends, Jimmy, was so proud that she came from that axis of Lagos. And you'll say, oh, she's from our hood. You know, you don't have that kind of start in your hood. And, it's nostalgic. This image, it brings nostalgia. And it was good to see that Mary herself, let me find where that Mary herself showed up in the comment section. That's it. Mary Onyali MFROLI. you know, and it was a good thing. Honestly, you don't ever think that, people will, get it, and we did. She was humble, and she was magnanimous enough to say the ankle leg was run by me. So the entire story was actually centered on me, not batteries, which we apologized, immediately, for the mix up. Uh, and we, I think I went on to say, thank you so much for the continuous 12 years of the source of pride in athletics, for us. I would love to write about that longevity one day. I mean, I left school and I went on to work, you know, in big industry, and I met many people there, and I could see the toll. I had we had a creative director from no, a top director from Unilever that was working with the agency that I work with, and she told me that traveling takes a toll on her, and she doesn't want to fly around anymore at certain period, because it was taking a toll on her physical health. She traveled so much, and she didn't want it anymore. So now imagine that you are a woman, and that you're an athlete, and you have to fly to so many meets. She's training in America. She has to go to Nigeria, fly from Nigeria to Athens, or fly to Barcelona, or fly to Paris, and then she's off again to the Caribbeans, and off again to Japan. We don't really understand what these athletes, go through. And it's something that is at the back of my mind to write about, because just traveling alone takes a toll on these people. And for Unyali to do 12 years of this, it's really, really, a good thing to do. So that story really, is something that we enjoyed. And there are others, like this one, we're looking for the humanity behind our athletes, our stars, after they've left, the scene, what happens there afterwards. So this is the story um, of ping pong. So it's a Black Stars of Ghana. He played for Black Stars of Ghana. Is Razak Ping Pong, and I thought the reason why I suggested this story and we ran it is because this is an example of a guy who was not looking to the usual pathways. Ex-footballers want to do their coaching badges, and they want to coach their teams, and they want to become the coach of their national teams as well, or a club side in Africa, or a club side in Europe. But we know that not all of these players are actually talented enough to coach. That is a fact. Quite a lot of guys who become fantastic coaches are not very good footballers. And I can give you names of this. Jose Mourinho, for instance, bad player, fantastic coach. It's the same thing for Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was not a particularly good player, but a great coach. The same thing for Arne Slot. The Arne Slot in Liverpool. So we'll talk about all of those dynamics later on, but there are other pathways for our footballers, to take. And this is Razak Pimpong established himself in Denmark and felt that, okay, I'm part of this community. What can I bring to the table? How do I show these people my culture, where I come from, the kind of food we eat? And he's doing that business in Denmark. And for me, that is really key. So ping pong has shown us that jollof rice, we don't just have to have jollof rice wars, right? It says that the culture of eating jollof rice, the culinary culture of Africans can be polished up, and with a bit of investment, you can turn it into a money earning, and cultural activity wherever you are. So that is why we ran this story, so that people can learn, from this, particular episode. Also, one of the things is that some of these stars we had in the past, people thought that once, we are done with them, we should just let them go. No, it doesn't happen that way. At least at More Sports, we want to dig into the archives. We want to know, understand what was going on. So this story came about. I want to give you an insight into why this story came about. It came about because people were saying, "Oh, the Osam Assam, the Egyptian, legend, is the first man to win uh, three Cup of African Nations, as a player and as a coach." But that is not the case. We find out that Kemfi from Ghana had done it in the past. So it was actually the first most successful African coach. You know, he had victories in 1963, 1965, and 1982 in the years that. Oh, sorry, it was not Osama San. It was Hassan Shehata. People thought Hassan Shehata was the first one to do it, but no, it was Kiamfi. Right. And all of this stuff he did, even when I was doing this research, I was amazed at this fantastic human being, Gyamfi, Charles Kumi Gyamfi. He was the first African to play in Germany in 1960, and he became, the coach of the Ghana Black Stars. So these are some of the things, and again, some of the things that gives us joy, because it's not just about numbers and statistics and all of these things. It is actually, what do these stories mean, for the people who are reading or watching it. That is what we're on about at Moor Sportz. And the last one I'm going to share from here is another story of a living legend, and that is um, this a love story between this lady, Lakiha Kiki Spicer, and Michael Tyson. The human angle. Everybody knew Tyson as a guy who could bulldoze his way through anything, as that badass, boxer. That guy has the strength of an ox. He could take down 10 men with his fist. But most people don't know that he's a human being. He has his flaws. He has his ups and downs, ebbs and flows. You know, so this story connected with our people. And if you look at it, we got 2.2K likes and 80 shares and 47 comments. And it resonated with people that even sports guys, people who they look immortal, with lots of influence and power, they're also human beings. And we need to know that side of them, that the thing that makes them human. And this is what the story, is all about. So I do hope that you can see why we are in business and why we are doing what we do, why we do more sports. And I hope that you now understand where we're coming from. on our third anniversary. And some of the things we have done said is that if you remember from the second year, I think into the first year, actually, maybe after the first year, we started to do members of the month, fans of the month, fans of the quarter. Every quarter we come out and we give prizes and stuff, to our fans, our people. But because of Facebook, rules, and because to send physical stuff across the world is really difficult, especially if you're based in the UK and you have to follow the GDPR rules. So if I'm taking your home address, for instance, um, there's a rule that guys that I need to follow as a business, as a company. But if we're sending money to someone, yeah, that's a different ball game. It's fluid and it can go straight on. So, but that also brings some kind of issue because Facebook thinks that we are inducing or incentivizing people to follow us. So, when we did the last edition, we did not even announce it. So, if you notice that we did not announce it, but we were able to give those gifts out, that was because we are trying so hard not to flout Facebook, rules, meta rules. And we are currently revising that, to see what we do. But we're not going to give it up. We're going to find a way around it because we just believe that we need to connect with people who connect with us. So when we send cash, incentives, for people who do certain things, or we send our t-shirts, merchandise, it is for a reason. And we do know that some of you guys, you have sent us on Facebook because Facebook has not invited us to be monetized, but that hasn't stopped some of you from sending us gifts. They call it super likes. It's on the button. Some of you find what we are doing fantastic and you've been sending some money. We thank you for that. No matter how small it is something. Thank you so much because you do it's not even the gift, it's because you appreciate that we're doing something and you want to be part of it. That is what we love. Thank you so much. And also we got super likes on our platform on YouTube as well. And YouTube is fast growing. Um, and as you can imagine, we're spending a lot of money to cover some of these things we do, out to America to cover golf, going to Morocco, cover the WAFCON, the AFCON, and we're preparing for Commonwealth Games. And also, we would have been out in Morocco again if for the second WAFCON if they have not postponed it. So they've postponed it. That means we spend money again, to get our crew down to wherever it is. This time around, it might be in South Africa. It may not be in Morocco. So you see, it's quite a lot of juggling that we have to do at Moor Sportz here. So, yep. So what I would like you to do for us, on our anniversary is that we've got 58,000 people, 58,000 of you guys, supporting us on Facebook. If you can do that for us, press the like button on. Let me go to our YouTube channel. We would love for you to take a moment, head over to our YouTube channel and actually support us. I'll share the screen with you for you to see what we're doing, down there. So this is our channel. This is the back end. I'm taking you inside. You're our friends now. I'm not leaving you at the door. I'm bringing you inside and I'm showing you some of the things, that we do. And, we've got all of these stories. We've got the dashboard, you know, we've got 2,185. Somebody left in the last 28 days. We need to take this one up a notch. The recent subscribers, Jafaniel, Yusuf, Samcheck, you know, if you are watching me now, the way in which you can help us is to subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. It's More Sports. Can you see it here? It's More Sports. This is our channel. And as you can see, as I'm broadcasting now, right now, is live on our YouTube channel as well. So that you can connect with us on any platform that is most accessible to you. So we've got 2018 subscribers and we've got 253 videos. So let's say 10% of you watching me on Facebook, you go over to our YouTube channel and you support us, then this number will easily rise to 5,000, around that. And if more of you would like to support us that way, if we get us to 10,000, we'll be able, to get the best value out of this, platform. So that is what, we are asking you to do. Take a moment, see all of the stories, the videos. We got over 250 something videos, original videos captured by us, delivered by us. So if you see, that's our own. That is the videos that we share. These are all our videos, as you can see. And if you want to see the live video that we do, like today on our channel, you go over to live and you see some of the live videos that we've done historically. And you can see that, is from this is from Moor Sportz Studios, and we've been serving you, stuff nonstop, all of that. So, and we are also doing something at the moment, in which if you are very good and you like to do this, either write stories and you want to appear, you want me to invite you to appear on a program with me, please send us an inbox message. If you're sure you can talk on air and you know your subject matter, you want to talk about any type of sport, I can fit you in. We can do stuff together. Um, 30 minutes is all it was going to take you. I can invite you into the studio from wherever you are. You just need to, I just send you the login details and then you'll be in the studio and we can do things together. So that's an invite from me to you. So if you think that that is something you want to do, please, get in touch. Let me show you other platforms that we've got. We are on Instagram as well. So if you're on Instagram, please look us up. This is who we are, Moor.sports. That's who we are on Instagram. So you can see some of the things. You can see the recent uh, um, story of my colleagues. That is my CEO, Kenny Fabru, and the ace broadcaster, journalist, who's been to over 100 countries of the world, covering sports. Dr. Wale Opatola is the second guy that I'm mousing over. And they were in this image, they were with the NFF General Secretary, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, in Morocco at the AFCON. So we're not boasting about this. It's what we do. It's what we keep doing. So connect with us on that level. Another one of our platform that you may not have bothered to connect with us is X. So quickly, I'll show you. We're on X uh, as Moor Sportz as well. So that's our channel on X. I didn't sign in from here, so that's why that is. So that's it, guys. And again, the last one I'm going to show you. Most of you know that we have a website. You know, if you want to see some of these in-depth stories, you need to head over to our website. We've got a website, guys, and that's our website. You want to see, some of the stories, that we've curated and put in there. So as you can see, we've got um, football, basketball, boxing, athletics, golf, mixed martial arts, table tennis, cycling, American football, swimming, whatever the interest is. And like I said, if you believe that you can write, stories, bingo, ping us up. And if we find your story really good, we can put it on our website. And that is something that some of you budding writers need. You need portfolios. So it stands as a portfolio, and you can showcase it to employers, whoever, to say, look, I've got one of my stories running in this international, platform. And that's it. So that is where we are as of today. We do thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being with More Sports for the last 3 years. More is to come. More is to come. Keep supporting us. Like I said, we're reviewing the fans, of the quarter thing that we do. We're reviewing it. We don't want to fall foul of the Facebook, directives, because we want to get invited to be monetized. So we're treading carefully, but we're looking at how we can get around that, because we want to connect with you guys. So we will get back to you when we're fully prepared. So keep doing what you do, because the algorithm, as you said, how do we select our fans of the month? We don't do it ourselves. I could go into the background. I could show you the people who connect with us the most. Their names will be up there. We don't do the selection. It's the algorithms that do the selection. So every like, every share, every comment, every mention is captured by the algorithms. So that is what we are. So again, without you, we cannot do more sports. That is clear to us as the day. So let's clap for you once again. So that will be the end of today's broadcast, and that's me, JC. Oh, there's a chat that I got now. Okay, Gary said, "Great job." Thank you. I know that name, and you've been one of our top engagers. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that you do. So yeah, that will be me, Jesse, signing out. Till we meet another day. God bless you.